Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamit.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhina.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Hotline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and More.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You've got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. we should have a guest today. But I was trying to contact them this week, and their, what do you call that? Their apologies for not being available today came in late. So I requested our director, Marvin, to switch. The consultation will be today, and our guest will be on Thursday. It's a wonderful day. The sun is up, and then this is day 2 of celebrating the 1 year of being in a lockdown. And no worries. We have to be thankful the positivity and the possibility of COVID. God, as my nephew is a priest, Father E.L., mentioned here in this show, it's a reminder. It's actually for us to appreciate what we have. Of course, what is the difference between black and white? Darkness and light. The absence. The absence. So here, we appreciate the paradoxes. And that is a competency that should be honed by HR professionals. It's one of those competencies actually at the center, which Dave Ulrich endorsed to us way back in 2016, to manage the paradoxes. And I still remember I was president of PMAP, and we invited Dave Ulrich himself, and that was really nice. Because at this time, of course, we have the pandemic, and he's already old, a little bit old. So that was just the right time, in God's time, wherein we have the guru of HR in our PMAP annual conference, where I was the president, and he discussed that. Managing the paradoxes. And that is what we are in now. So let us start at once with what we are supposed to discuss. Last time, pardon, I was trying not to put some gel in my hair because it seems that I look good with my hair down, but I look like my brother. Who are now both gone. My stylist family Kambantak will not like it. I can see myself that I look like my eldest brother was just gone a month ago. I look like Manay Boboy. But I was just trying to look a little bit fresh, to look just like my plants. So I did not put a gel on my hair, but I can see that I am looking like my brother. Anyways, so let me greet first those who are here because we're a bit many. Gemma Duke is watching from Taytay. Gemma was there last week, and oh my God, my best friend Femery is watching, and then my cousin Bebet Roa Mishan is also watching. Cherise, how are you? We missed you yesterday. It was a nice learning session in PAPS. Then my cousin Donald is also here. Okay, so let us start. Last time we discussed about how we are going to develop learning culture in the organization. It was a phone-in question, and also it was my concern because I do webinars, and I found out that there are really some organizations wherein pinipilit pa mag-attend. You enroll them at pinipilit pa mag-attend. Okay. And then there are some organizations wherein it's the middle management actually who are not a little bit keen that their subordinates or the supervisors under them attend. And the answer, we got it right away from, I hope you will be joining us later, from my idol, Jerry Plana. He reminded us that we must include that in our KPIs. Then I mentioned that in Inquirer, yes, LMD is part of the KPIs of managers, more including what do you call that, pre-audit, a 5%, but it's still there. Then also we discussed what to do when key people leave. Just to consider that we are on a pandemic, and then there are a lot of people out of work, but there are key people leaving. I don't know if they are what do you call this, pirated, or the grass is greener at the other side of the fence. But Beth Nasol, I hope she will be joining us later, and Ophel reminded us that the leadership must be able to talk and discuss these little concerns. We call that exit interview. We cannot really hold on people if they desire to leave. But there should be an effort from management, because it's a management concern, that you have already invested to your people, and then you must have that, what you call, a program to retain. Sometimes we are so happy in acquiring talents, but we are actually remiss, and we don't have an effective program to retain people. And it's actually something that is difficult when we already invested a lot on people, both ways. So there should be a program on retaining people. Okay, so let us now start. Darwin is here. I'm so glad. Darwin, Darwin is a friend, and Darwin is actually the founder of the HR group, and he is here with us today. Thank you for watching, or for watching from Eastwood. Okay, so let us start with, I have actually 3 questions here. These are actually, I have students and I have chat groups, and I ask them, what are your concerns nowadays? Still exists on OD, but one is, how do we know that our HR programs are actually effective? So we'll discuss that. And also, again, that my student is from actually in the South, is actually asking, because I mentioned it before, how do we actually develop that culture of agility and that culture of discipline? And then also, I just had a webinar on basic supervisory and HR supervisory, and this is actually one of the questions of my student. What are the present-day competencies that HR should actually hold? So let us start. A failure here. Thank you very much. So we have nice blend of seasoned HR who can help us share their thoughts and insight through the chat box. And when it is HR consultation, we are assured of that the episodes are actually shared. Okay, so let us go to the first one. Yeah, how will we know that our programs are actually effective? That was mentioned by Jerry, and also I mentioned that in my webinar in ECHO. There are a lot of HR who have nice programs. I don't know if you cut and paste it, or you benchmark it, or it is a ready program and then you implement it. But the problem is the practices are not actually aligned to the program that you are developing. So the question is, how do we know that the programs that we have in HR are effective? So let us just try to categorize it. Say, acquisition, that's one function, and you can have a good program on that. A learning and development program, of course, we have the ROI, or the what do you call this, assessment on L&D, about your succession planning, about your engagement programs. So the question is, how will we know that it is effective? So can we have some insights? Al is here. Feedback audit check-up on business results. Okay, can we spot on Al? Al was our guest 2 weeks ago. Yes, feedback, audit, check, and business result. These are three different things. One is feedback, and I'm very sure, correct me, Al, these are actually what you call your surveys, that you do, or your FGDs that you do. The audit, I think you really have to have, say, if Jerry's here, a consultant or the investors in people to look into it, and then check on business results, which is actually a little, you cannot really appreciate it because business result is actually after a while wherein you can feel that there is a change. Just like, say, a training in for sales may not really have an immediate impact, but you know, after a while, I know this because I was in sales in Inquirer. After training, after a while, after 6 months, a year, actually the sales went up. Then we have Darwin Rivers. We can gauge, Darwin, thank you for sharing. We can gauge it via 4 ways. Attrition data, yeah. Darwin, that was the problem that I posed last time. That the key people are leaving. This is true, Darwin. This is actually a student of mine, a managing director, a student of mine in ECOP was telling me that her key people are leaving. So attrition data, then the employee survey. But you know, Darwin, sometimes the employee survey are cut and pasted from Google. So I think they need us to really help people to really zero in and what is really that we are trying to ask if our programs are okay. Productivity, yes. Ay, talaga. You know, it's really nice to have seasoned HR here. Salute to Darwin. Productivity, of course, that is a business result, what was mentioned by Al earlier. Productivity, you can see if there is actually what you call from point A to point B, the marginal increase of productivity after any intervention, and lower employee labor issues. Oh, you got it. We have to share this. We got it from Darwin. Okay, I just hope my student is actually watching. The Nofel, can we spot on Nofel? Thank you, Darwin. Direct, can we spot on first the measures of Fel Montalian? First, the measures should have been set before implementing any program. Right. You know, sometimes of Fel, we are so eager to implement it because it is nice thing to do. Yung parang gaya-gaya. Then, we don't even know if we have the measures, the KPIs. Sometimes it's not even in our objectives, neither in our KRA. Say increase in retention rate of leaders and employees. Put not on a percent. Put on a percent. Yeah. Yes. I agree. So we go. How about GMI? KPIs measured should be clear before rolling out any program. I think of FEL and JAMI, that is what is being is. So for all those who are going to share and watch this, these are really coming from seasoned HR. If you venture into any program, there should be a KPI. Case in point, I would like your insight. How about the Bible study or the masses that we have? I don't know if there are online masses that we have. Evaluation and quiz po. Talaga? Evaluation and quiz. Would they like that, that adults, workers will be given some tests I don't know. I would like to get your insights on this. But yes, maybe for those who are undergoing training, and for those in the included in the potential and performer for succession planning, maybe random quizzes or scheduled quizzes may be done. But that should be explained properly. Let's go back to Ophel. Ophel has a post here. Another measure, set promotion measures, increase promotion of employees, set actual percent dose. That is the problem of Ophel. Even in government, there is what we call the trend of having succession planning. But the problem of Ophel is they don't know how to do it. I know it because I've done around 7 webinars on how to implement a succession planning and management program. So the set promotion measures. Usually what we have are replacement programs, especially in the government. May nakaabang na. So parang it is necessary for us, or it's imperative for us to really promote the director 3 when the director 4 leaves. But no, that is not actually our idea of succession planning. Good customer experience survey responses. I don't know your name, Goodness231, but try to tell us. Choris, measurements through KPI, yes. Reduction of valid complaints from guests. Yeah. What's your name, please? What's your name? We are on a resort hotel. Yes, that can be another source of information, especially if you have what you call customers. Complaints and maybe reports that shows if your programs are actually good. Or guest complaints from providers like me. We'll discuss this again on the culture of agility. You know, up to now, I am not yet paid, and it's already more than a month. Objective goals, KRAs, and KPIs from Charisse. Yes, for all HR, let us be reminded when we have programs, what is actually our purpose, then the goals first, and that the detailed objectives, then that's it, fall cover under your area of responsibility and the measures, right? I thank you for joining, Mr. Jerry Plana. I need your thoughts here. Measure employees' experience that impact employees' engagement scores. I will repeat. Lalim nito. Measure employee experience. First, we have to determine, Jerry, can you actually post, what do we mean by employee experience? I heard that from Mr. Nick Lim in Gokongwei. They're actually looking at the employee experience that impact on employee engagement scores. And how do you do that? Will the usual Jerry, what do you call this, survey suffice for the employee engagement scores? We really need investment for people. Jerry, I am not very sure with my proposition. Investment in people, investment for people. Correct me. For information retention. What is this all? For information retention. Then Ophel, yes, can we spot on Ophel? Another way is the easiest. Administer an organization-wide engagement survey. Yes. Pre and post survey. After program was launched, specific date, example, a month after. Yes, what are their expectations? And after that, you run it, and after that, were they satisfied? Yes. But the question is how they are going to write or to design the pre and the post assessments. Charisse, peer evaluation. Yes, that is also Miss Charisse. The peer evaluation. Sometimes I will go back to Jerry. He told us about that, the culture of candor. Sometimes we actually are not so willing to mention things because we are afraid that if we are transparent or we mouth something that is negative, will be on hot waters. Then we have Louis. Hello, Louis. Louis here is from, what do you call this? Bacolod. How are you in Bacolod? Kumusta ang sa COVID dyan? Ruth Tolentino. Can you spot on Ruth Tolentino? Paano kapag mababa yung sahod? Nasa BPO ka pero mababa sahod. Ang baba nga ng may mga kaltas pa. Tapos walang increase kahit 4 years ka na nag-work dun sa company. Paano po yun? What Ruth is telling us now is a program on your comben or your rewards. Oh, can somebody give your insights on what the Ruth here posted? Yes. Because we're talking of programs. How are we going to determine if our programs or the implementation of our functions are really effective? And here is a real situation wherein the sound is actually low. So it's actually a question on compensation and benefits, or what we call now the rewards, what do you call the reward system? So yes, this is Cecil, si Cecil pala ito. Cecil, thank you for the banyan tree. You know, Cecil. Cecil, I always been mentioning you the shift in Balay Isabel. I ask permission from you, but I always mention you the wonderful thing that you are doing in Balay, the transformation, the transition, the pivoting of yourself, and then your staff. Wonderful, wonderful. I just hope when everything nagbababa, I will really visit you. Cecil here is an HR person, and he is now an executive, the CEO. The CEO. So that is actually a career in HR. Thank you, Cecil, for being here. Then we have Hilda Cardenas. Can you spot on Hilda? Program success can be measured through increased customer satisfaction, increase in revenues, increase in employer satisfaction, and retention of key people. So papasok tayo dito, Hilda, the use of what we call KPIs nga. And of course, I don't want to mention it because maraming papasok, analytics. Diba? Sometimes, I don't know, we don't have the data, or we have so much data and we don't use it. And we don't actually use the measures. Diba? These are actually there is a term for that, the percentages. Then we have Jerry Plana, investors in people. Dako, mapagalit si Fema rin nito sa akin, mahina ko sa English. Investors in people. parang yung Philippine society, diba? Talent development. Dugay gid sinunoy, investors in people. Yes. Okay. Then we have Charis here. For that situation, do they have that program? Do as the PA, if no problem, look for another job that will be happy. Ay, nga, Charis. Diba? Diba? So, tingnan nga talaga, kung talagang may program sila. Yung parang, yung conben ba talaga ay nagtatrabaho? O yung rewards? Kasi may oras, ang akala ng conben is payrolling. Diba? You just follow what is in the labor minimum wage, and that's it. Wala nga yung 3Ps na yung bago ngayon, yung pay for person, yung profiling yan, pay for the position, yan yung salary scale, and then pay for performance, and that is your bonuses, which should not be embedded. Pero tama ka, Charis. Baka wala nga, di maganap siya ng ibang ang taray ng aking sagot. Okay. Ayan, yes, Cecil, I'm so proud of you and proud of Balay Isabel. Balay Isabel. Yes, let's go down to during your exit interview, you can raise that concern, right? Again, let's go back to the question of people are leaving. Can we have Bebet here? Bebet is from Tarlac. So we have somebody from Bacolod, we have somebody from Tarlac. Can we have, if you think that you are a good performer, you can tell your immediate superior about your rate. Bebet is now mentioning, it's an answer to that question about, salaries now are actually, there should be a conversation on salaries, because it doesn't mean that if you feel aggrieved, you don't tell it, that just, it's not good for your health. Let's go to Ophel. Hi, Ruth. Is it your experience in your BPO company, or are you simply mentioning this in general? To my knowledge, BPO companies pay above the government mandated basic pay. Right. I know it also. And then they have lots of perks also. I agree with you, Ophel. Then we have Ruth Tolentino. Madam, ang nag-raise ang concern na yan, Madami ang nag-raise, hindi po ba pwede makarating sa dole yung kung paano sila magpasahod? Kawawa naman ang mga empleyado nila. You know, Phil and Ruth, I know this kasi there are some small BPOs actually now. The proliferation of business outsourcing. Business, di ba? BPO. Process outsourcing. Yun. Marami yun, mga maliliit. And then I don't know if their HR is actually creative enough to come up with compensation and rewards program. Siguro dapat maturuan natin, si Cecil, ako, tayong lahat, mag-share ng ating knowledge for this HR. I know that. Kasi usually, gaya ito po ng situation na rito, gaya po ito ng maraming mga insurance firms, I know that, maraming mga security agency firm at BPO firms na maliliit, ay nako, wala nga dyan HR. Yun. So, that is actually a concern. Okay, let's go to Jerry as a long post here. A positive employee experience satisfies all needs of the employees in the workplace. So that is the definition. Employee experience all needs of employees in the workplace, including the bidet, including the mask, including the travel to and fro. If you fail to provide this, you will not be able to retain valuable talent. I remember the time that there was Undoy, BPI, and then the group of Ayala. They were actually there helping people who were affected. Actually, it's actually the company. Then also the Gokong Way. You know what I learned from Gokong Way is that they bring their employees, those that are reporting to the office and back to their homes. So that is the experience. The positive experience should be from entry to exit. Oh, so Jerry here is actually from acquisition down to the onboarding, down to the engagement, down to the exit. HR professional should be called head of employee experience. Thank you, Jerry. So let's try, what is in a name? But nomenclature matters. Can we go back to Jerry? Can we go back to Jerry? Nomenclature matters. The one that I am not yet finished with Jerry Direct. This is desired. Can we go back to Jerry, please? Direct. Called the head of employee experience. This is the desired outcome of HR programs. Positive employee experience. This is the desired outcome of HR programs. Positive employee experience are correlated with high productivity. So this is not actually, I think it's new, but it's actually something that HR should now really be keen and do it. That the programs that we do are actually, what do you call it, customer-centric, and the customer actually are human resources, that their experience in staying in the company is really good. Although sometimes, Jerry, there are employees that are already billable. Just imagine going to the office, it's aircon, and the water is free, and you have coffee. It's already billable, but it is part of the experience. Just like, say, working in Google, I have seen one in BGC wherein the food is just there. Or working in the mining industry. I've been to Oceana Gold, I've been to Cadianao, and Surigao. The food is there. And that is the employee experience. You don't really would like to leave because it is home. Okay, can we go to Ophel? So, Ophel, please. So, wondering if this company is legitimate. Yes, agree with Bebek. Approach your manager and share your situation. Yes. You know, actually, you're looking for a job, but when you work, you have to be remunerated. And if you feel a little bit aggrieved, shortchanged, you have to discuss it with your bosses. And then HR should do something about it. Jemai, Duque, Davide. Yes, that is part of the experience. Jemai. Then Ruth Tolentino. Ruth. Can spot on Ruth? Hi, Ophelia. Concern lang po sa friends ko. May mga ka-work. Sila na nagtatanggap ng awards at good performer. Pero wala namang raise. But Ruth, at this time that we have the pandemic, people siguro must consider also if the companies are actually doing good. Diba? So para bang, there should be a conversation. But I agree that, the remuneration should really be looked into. But at this time of the pandemic, tingnan muna natin yung raise kasi there are around 4 million and 8, is my statistics correct? 4 million and 4. 4 million and 4 people that are actually out of job. So if you have a job, you have to be thankful. But it depends. You have to go back to what you call job analysis. If your work really demands that you have to be paid properly in job analysis and job evaluation, diba? There are some jobs hindi talaga basic pay because what they do is actually a little bit may gravity. Then so tingnan talaga the content person and then the rewards must look into that. Okay. So yes, Ruth, tumawag ka sa akin kasi I can help you malinawan natin yung mga tao. Both ways. HR, management, and the people. Okay, Ruth. Hello, mas mataas pa daw sahod ng government. Uy, totoo yun, Ruth. Sa nurses at sa teachers, mas mataas po sila ngayon. That is a fact. Kaya nga, kawawa ng mga schools dito going north. I know this. In Bulacan, I know this. May mga friends ako dyan, St. Mary's, yung nahihirapan sila maghanap ng teachers kasi mas mataas yung sahod sa teachers. Okay, Charisse, if you care so much of your external customer, we should also treat much care of our internal customer. Of course, Charisse. Of course, Charisse. Hindi nga lang yung pay for possession. Kaya dapat yung tatlo Pay for person, which is the competency. Pay for position, which is actually your pay scale. And then your pay for performance. Siguro tingnan muna natin, turuan natin yung HR dyan. Jemai, yes? Can we go spot on Jemai? And after Jemai, we'll have a break, huh? We'll have a break. Hi, Ruth. So long as the company complying with the labor code standards, they will not be liable to any violation. That's true. Oo nga naman. Kasi it's within the minimum wage. Rewards programs vary per company. If the current company does not satisfy employees' wants, employees always have the options to look for another employment. However, during the pandemic, it will be a challenge. That is what I was mentioning. Obed, thank you for joining us. I know you are very busy, but you are here with us. Last one is Ophel, then we'll have the break. Ophel, spot on Ophel, direct. Yes, please spot on Ophel, direct. Correct, Jesse, my friend. Under the pandemic, many programs have to be adjusted. Good performance does not equate to raise, at least today. Agree with Jesse. If the company is not doing well, then they are not in a position to give raises. So again, when we come back, can all of you now tell us, last point, how are you sure that your programs are really effective? Then we go to the next question of the competencies, kasi this is actually endorsed to me by a student of mine. What are the competencies that they should develop? So direct, let's have the break, please. Mapapagalitan ako. Break, please, direct. Direct, let's have... Direct, and we have the poster wherein we invite them to watch the various shows of the new channel. What you can do is log on to the new channel or visit the page, and we have Mondays to Sundays from U-Turn to the TNC Talk, Awesome Day, the Home Buyer, the Puppet Stories, the Big Picture, the Millennial Voice, and down to the Town Hall and One Day. And it is a perfect way of keeping yourself up and about with something new, and you can watch it in your gadgets. So let's go back to our conversation here because we have lots of season HR. So thank you for sharing with us. Okay, there is a point here posted by Al Aguinaldo. Can I read it direct? Employee competencies in the new era. Yes, so digitally savvy, agile, and innovative. Okay, so this is actually being asked by I have a chat group. I call it Kulto ni Jesse. The other one is Parokya ni Jesse. Yes, digitally savvy. Yes, but how savvy is the question? Is it just, let me discuss it. My thoughts on this. A lot of people are actually on social media. A lot of people are actually, as Ophel mentioned me last year, the BPO, where they were actually in Zoom. They were actually in what we call collaborative platforms long before the pandemic. But when we say digitally savvy, the second word is what is important, savvy. Total online presence. And that is actually the question for those HR using the social media and using technology at the work. Sometimes they already miss how really to properly present themselves. Their authenticity is not actually viewed as positive. Authenticity is actually viewed as being yourself, and you run and you show your real color, which is not good. The other one is agile. That is the question, Al. It's so easy to mention that. It has been a conversation piece and a topic in PIMA. But I am experiencing it. People are telling us that they are agile, but look at the processes that they have. Loans are not yet paid in 2 days' time. Signatures, approvals are still in a week, and payments to providers are more than a month. So how can we say that you are agile? How can we start agility? That is our next topic. How can we start, or how can we develop the agile culture and innovation? Oh, love it all. Yes, innovation. But again, the question is how? How? We have to be creative. There should be critical thinking. There should be design thinking. But it is easier said than done. We got lots of webinars in ECOP and PSTD in PMAP on innovation long before the pandemic. But up to now, it is still spaghetti for all the events. They are still in uniforms, and the uniform is still a t-shirt. So how are you going to innovate? And actually, the question is on engagement. That will be our next topic next time, because I already have it here. What are the engagement activities? What are the innovative? Darwin, can we, before Darwin, we have, what is it? Choris, to see if the system works, we sustain consistently our, what is this? Miss goal, objectives, star A, and KPI. Then happy employee, happy company. Can we spot on Darwin? Thank you, Darwin, for being here. Darwin, please. Measuring program competencies should be based on agreed measurable evaluation mechanism, program or KPI. Example, number of participants feedback, scoring of employee experience post-event, and possible correlation of overall company goals like decreasing attrition, lowering absenteeism. Also part of this would be a comparative analysis on a month-to-month employees program in terms of cost and effectiveness. Yes, Darren. You know, Darren, this is actually the conclusion. Just like, say, in the culture of learning and development, it's in the KPI. This one, I love this, Darwin. There should be a comparative analysis on a month-to-month basis. What is actually the, from your baseline, what is actually the marginal, the change. It's not actually the absolute number, but actually it's the change. Measuring program and competencies. So I think HR must look into how they're going to measure what they are doing. And this actually go, Charis and Darwin, we agree that you have to go back to your vision, mission, to your goals to come up with the programs that you're going to have. It is not just, it's a good to have. It's actually trying to align the programs of what you need. Ruth Tolentino. Okay, Ruth, can we go to spot on Ruth? Hyophobia pandemic is last year lang, pero yung employees nag-work na po for 4 to 5 years and walang raise. Is it normal po? I will answer you. It is not normal. It's normal if the employee is not actually a performer. But if the employee is a performer, I think that the problem there is they are not actually using the new ways or the new schemes, the new practices in compensation and benefit. You must have what they call a payment, a salary, not actually a salary, bonuses for performance. Pay for performance. If the person is performing too, because it doesn't mean that tenure is not anymore, Ruth, the basis of increases. You can be there for the longest time, but you are not a performer, so don't expect any increase. It's actually your competency and it's your performance. So I think there should be measures, which is why, what do you call this? The competent person, it should be in charge of performance. Okay, then we have Jemai Duki, competency, but let's hear from Ofer. Jemai, competency HR practitioners need. Business acumen. Right. Nagsabi ta kanina si Al, business acumen. This is actually what we missed. You know, I know of lots of companies where in their strategic program, the HR is just in charge of the food and making sure that the ventilation is okay. They are not actually involved. But you know, when I was in Inquirer, that is the difference with Sandy, the HR was actually involved in the strategic planning. And I just had what you call the HRBP, HR Business Partnering. I would like to correct it. There is a big difference between the person, the HR business partner, and then the practice of HR business partnering. Then I emphasize it that all HR not only be specialized on what they do, but generalists, but must have business acumen. And that is an addition. Kasi wala tayong pakialam noon. Nagtapos tayo ng psychology or management. Anong pakialam natin sa marketing, sa logistics? Anong pakialam natin sa wastage? But no, ball grids, di ba? Yung, what do you call that? Yung people operations, scorecard, the balance scorecard, di ba? HR must, you're very good, Gemma. Business acumen, clear understanding of the business, even on the financial side. Yan ang hindi alam. Ang nakala yung HR business partner, yung para bang siya yung representative ng HR sa mga kumpanya. Hindi po. Ikaw yung doon yung pasimuno na mag-orchestrate. So, that is one thing na nice to have, nice to hear, nice to do. But HR is... So, Jerry and Darwin, siguro let's have this, what they call this movement or training them, advancing HR. Narinig ko yan kay Gilbert, na we have to really calibrate the understanding of what Gemma here is mentioning. Yung business acumen, kasi that is really being missed. I just came from a training wherein I was talking with the HR. Of course, I can understand kasi HR staff. Pero wala siyang appreciation of what the entire organization is doing. So what I'll mention for the competencies and for GMI, that is what is needed. So hindi na yung knowledge of interviewing, given na yun Di ba yung nagtitake pa ng STAR method of interviewing? Dapat ngayon, ang pag-aralan na ng HR, ito nga, yung financial. Hindi naman dapat malaman nila yung how to debit and credit and come up with the financial statements. Baka naman yung ganun Di ba? Para bang yung business writing, ang gustong ituro, grammar, naging grammarian katuloy. Hindi. Ang tinuturo is how to write, how to come up with the correct, what do you call this, inspiration or the correct way of writing. Hindi tuturuan mo na is and what and where and who and what. So, ang dapat turuan natin, Gemma, is competency. What else? So we have new era, digitally savvy, agile, and innovative. Jerry, facilitating culture transformation will become critical HR competency. Alam mo talaga, Jerry, sa what do you call that? Sa desiderata, ikaw talaga yung greater person than I am. Makakainis ka, Jerry. Tali-talino ni Jerry. Facilitating culture transformation will become a critical yes. Kaya nga, Jerry, itong mga pinag-uusapan natin, these are real question. They have attended OD training. They know the culture. But they still ask me, Sir, how do we start? So facilitating culture transformation will become critical competence. Alam mo, may isang akong sinabihan Sabi ko, try to call investors in people. Culture must be taken more seriously because it is what delivers business strategy. Spot on, Jerry. Talaga. Now that's the surface. The positivity and possibility of the pandemic, we are now experiencing it that if our culture is not really good, we are not really getting the right results. Facilitating conversation is likewise critical since you have more questions that need to be answered during disruptive times. That is true also. Ang problema kasi, Jerry, nagpaturo yung HR ng trainers training, on mentoring, on coaching. Yung HR hindi naman umupo. Nagpa-attendance lang at nagpakain. So, coming up with conversation, nada. Don't take this against me. I'm just trying to tell you the brutal fact. Facilitating conversation, especially for senior executive, is extremely valuable. Yun na nga yung po, Jerry. Jerry, di ba I mentioned kanina yung the difference between an HRBP, the person, and the HRBP partnering the practice. Facilitating conversation, naglalagay ng mga tao to be HR business partner, na-overwhelm ng mga executive So facilitating conversation with them, it's extremely, so we really need to hone, develop skills, and right away. So from Al, which is digitally savvy, agile, innovative, from Gemma, which is the business acumen, and for Jerry, the culture transformation. Good. Tama talaga. These are the competencies should be developed. I am sure my student who was asking that is here. Nakikinig siya, Jerry. So, the culture transfer. Ang mahirap, Jerry, saan ba sila pupunta nito? Oh, help me here. Say if you are an HR, say developing your skills, your competency, saan ka pupunta nito, Al? For your digitally savvy, agile, and innovative. Saan ka pupunta, Gemma, for the business acumen? Jerry, saan ka pupunta nitong culture transformation? Ang dami kong tanong, no? I just hope there should be an agency who must look into this. Calling siguro yung ating yung si Richard Mamuya. Kasi these are the competencies. At siguro, just look into what was endorsed by Ulrich. What was endorsed by Ulrich? Di ba yung nag-uumpisa sa credible activism at nagtatapos sa managing paradoxes? Dapat siguro, there should be an extensive discussion. I am invited by PMAP to do the first day of Essentials in HR on the 23rd. And I will really focus on this and dedicate around 15 minutes to 30 minutes on this, on what are the competencies that HR should really develop at this time, that not only for the pandemic, that we are actually looking forward to what is coming, the new normal. Okay, so ang ganda-ganda nating pinag-uusapan. So one more. It's actually time. It's 1:02. Yung tanong natin when we come back for another consultation, we continue with culture kasi ito nga kay Jerry. Kasi we haven't discussed how we are going to develop the culture of discipline and the culture of, what do you call this? The culture of agility and the culture of discipline. You know, I even prepared Jerry. Look at this. I'm so theoretical. Can we show to them the 2 slides that I sent you so that we can start a conversation? Pero all of you are here. Please be back kasi ito pag-usapan natin. Can we show to Jerry, to Gemma, to Al, and to everybody, to Darwin? The posters that I sent you. Jerry, pwede natin pag-discuss ito sa sunod na consultation. Would you want it to be on next week or on Saturday? Yung sa good to great framework. Kasi that is actually what was asked from me. How are they going to have it? Kasi it's nice to hear it. And then just I told them this is a different thing from that of having the disciplinary action. O di ba nice? And then this one, the 5 levels of leadership. Ang sabi kasi, kaya sinabi niya, kasi let's go back to the first slide direct. Let's go back to, di ba dito sa disciplined people, the level 5 leadership. Ang tanong niya, paano niya ito ituro doon sa dapat, kasi let's go now to the second one direct. Direct, and we now go to the June, di ba ang level 5 is the executive. So yan ang conversation natin, Jerry, Gemma, Ophel, Charisse, kung paano nga. At sa totoo lang, these are HR people. And I don't want to mention their name kasi these are my students. Sabi niya, sir, ang ganda nung tinuro mo. Pero paano namin yan may tuturo dito sa executives namin? Kasi level 5. So that is where we end up. And thank you. Okay. Pero mayroong sinabi pa rito si Gemma. Wala na. Do we still have post direct? Do we still have post? None? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. My colleagues, my friends, thank you for being here. I will again invite you for our next consultation. And this is so nice because this is actually being shared and your posts are read. It is documented. Thank you very much, PP Obet, PP Jerry. Thank you very much, Al, Gemma, Ophel, Charisse, Ruth. Thank you very much for being so transparent and telling us a real story. And then thank you very much. Who else are here? Yes, Cecil Terrible. And of course, my dear friend, Darwin Rivers. Okay? I will have to again place what they call pomade. Pomade talaga. And my hair. Because I look like our eldest brother with my hair done. I was just trying to be innovative and creative. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of things that HR people really needs now. And we really have, but it's good. We call that Kaizen, continuous improvement. Even myself, we should not rest on our laurels. We should always have that desire to improve as long as we are working or even beyond, even if we are retired already. We have to advance our profession, the practice, and make sure that what we're doing is actually effective. Which reminds me that it is not actually the absolute result. It's the impact. It's the outcome. HR is actually taking care of people. But the measure is, are we changing lives? That is the, how do you pronounce it? Crew of the matter. The crux of that is what is actually important. That as somebody who is taking charge of the human resource in an organization, just imagine, nakasalalay sila sa atin. Just what Ruth has been espousing. That salary for 4 years has been there and it's not moving. Just imagine if we have deaf ears. What are those things that we are telling them, that we have empathy, malasakit? We have what we call care. If you don't really go into each and every one, and just like Jesus, who is the good shepherd, one single lamb that is not actually astray, but is actually a little bit deprived and not happy, should be taken care of. And this is what HR must do. Sometimes we look like robots, that we don't actually look into the individual, the needs of each person. So I think we have to put the heart of Jesus into our heart and really hone that, develop that no competency. I don't know if it's a competency, it's a quality. The quality to really look into the needs of our human resources. Salamat po. This has been a wonderful lunch with all my seasoned guests sharing what they know. Again po, sama ulit tayo. Salamat po, Direk. Let's end this episode. This is Jesse Rebustillo. Diyos mabalos po.